Good morning, Year 6. Today is the 5th of June 2020 and it is Friday. We managed to make it through the week and guess what? We've managed to make it to the end of our unit on algebra. But fear not, we will revisit algebra in our starters and then it'll cross over in our next unit as well. So do not fear, algebra will still be here. I'd like you to write down you don't need to write down the date today. You don't need to write down the learned intention because today is our hot task. So you'll remember in school, we do our cold task at the beginning and we do our hot task at the end of the unit to see how much we've taken in. Helps us take ownership for our learning because we can look at the areas that we're still struggling with and then you can take some ownership and continue to work on those areas. So our date in Roman numerals should be easy peasy. V is 5, VI is 6, and MMXX is 2020. Now, I've seen some of the work coming in. Some of you still need to practice working on Roman numerals, so make sure you've got that written down. Remember, if you've been writing XI as for June, then actually you're writing that we're in November, because XI is 11, X is 10, I is 1. Put them together and you get 11. So make sure you've got the VI for the 6th month. So for today's lesson, you will need a pencil, you will need your paper, you will need a timer, and you'll need your thinking hats on. You'll need to go through our starter for today's lesson, which you'll see shown on screen, and set your 5-minute timer, and off you go. Fantastic. We'll go through our answers. 487 minus 99 is 388. So the easiest way to do that is to minus 100 and put that 1 back on. 8/10 is equal to how many 20ths? Well, we can see to get from 10th to 20th, we had to multiply by 2. And whatever we do to the bottom, that's right, I heard you say it, we must do to the top. So if 10 times 2 is 20, then 8 times 2 is 16, and they are equivalent fractions. 2 times 84. So 2 times 80 is 160, and 2 times 4 is 8. Put that together, you get 168. 182 minus 97. Well, what's 182 minus 100? That's right, it's 82. But we're not talking about 100, we're talking about 97. But 97 is 3 less than 100. So we put that 3 back on, and from 82 we add that 3 and we get 85. Next row. 6 times 4 times 5. So 6 times 4 is 24, and then 24 times 5. So we can do 24 times 10, which is 240. 24 times 5 must be half of that, 120. So remember, when the operations are the same, we just work from left to right. Now for the next one, 9 plus 15 minus 4. 9 plus 15 is 24. 24 minus 4 is 20. 1/4 times 1/2. 1 times 1 is 1, and 4 times 2 is 8. So we get 1/8. And can we simplify that? No, we cannot. 3 cubed plus 5. So we know 3 and the small 3 on top means cubed. So that means we times the number by itself. 3 times 3 times 3. So we should have 3 sets of the same number being multiplied by itself. 3 times 3 is 9. And 9 times 3 is 27. So 27 plus 5 is 32. 3 divided by 8. Now this one's tricky, right? We know we're going to have a decimal number because 3 is less than 8. So you could use the bus stop method here to help you. 3 divided by 8. Well, we know that how many 8s are there in 3? That doesn't work. So we're going to need to put a 0. We put a decimal and we carry that 3 over and we put a 0 next to it to make 30. How many 8s are there in 30? That's right, there's 3. 8, 16, 24. So we have 3 and then we have 6 left over. To get from 24 to 30 we have 6 left over. We can't put any 8s in a 6. We put the 0 next to it. How many 8s in 60? Well, we know that 8 times 7 is 56. So there are 7 8s in 60. And we also have 4 left over there. And we put a 0 next to that. So how many 8s in 40? 5. So our answer there is 0.375. Now for the next one, 0.83 plus 0.17. 83 plus 17 would give us 100. Super. So we make that the next whole number. So that just becomes 1 or 1.00. 546 divided by 6. How many 6s in 5? 0. How many 6s in 54? 9. And how many 6s in 6? 1. So our answer is 91. 6 and 7/8 is equal to how many 8s? Now, this one might have seemed a bit tricky, but we know if the answer still has to be in 8s, then it's going to be an improper fraction. So we have our answer here of 6 times 8, which is 48, and then add 7 to that, and we get 55. So our answer is 55/8. Well done if you managed to get those. I know a few of those, probably about 2 or 3 of those might have thrown you off, so don't worry. Don't worry, you'll get there. Now, for today's lesson, you need to, before you can go on to today's task, you must make sure that you've completed all previous lessons. 2-step equations, 1-step equations, going through our guided maths, so going through the problems, looking at the formulas, looking at the areas, and the volumes, all of that. Make sure you've covered all of those lessons before you complete our end of unit assessment, because everything that we've covered is what you're going to need to know, okay? And obviously you want to feel really proud of yourself. You want to know that you tried your best. So make sure you've covered every lesson before you go on to our task for today. So here is our assessment. So it's our Whiterose assessment that we usually do at the end of our task, end of our unit. It would have been sent to you in an email this morning. It is also on the school website. However, I've put it on the video for those of you who can't access that for whatever reason. So you can always pause the video here if you want to and have a go answering the questions. And I've also put the second set of questions on here too, so you can answer it on the video if you need to. For the answers, however, I'm not making it that easy for you. For the answers, you'll need to either go to the email or you'll need to have a look on the school website for the answers. Okay, so good luck. Have a great day. Oh, one more thing. Kahoot. Nearly forgot. So I put a Kahoot challenge on for you. The game pin is shown on screen. It might look a bit blurry depending on how good your computer or phone is. It's 081 881 18. So that's 081 881 18. Try and say it like a song, and that might help you to remember it when you go over to Kahoot to have a go at the challenge which I have set. So it's a bit of a lengthy one. It's got quite a few questions on there, but it covers everything that we've been, not everything, covers some of what we have been learning. And then once you've done all of that, only then can you relax. And remember to send us your work at the email address yr6@grange.harrow.sch.uk. Have a fabulous weekend, ready for some more learning on Monday. Bye!